Hello and welcome to another Mistfall Hunter video. New patches has dropped today and I think a lot of people are going to be happy with the changes they've made. So the first thing to talk about is season and contract rewards. They have reduced the amount of grinding overall, meaning less monster kills, less player executes, and you are now required to complete tasks using a set equipment rarity instead of having to reach a total value on your gear. They're making tasks easier to understand and adding better visual indicators for team-wide progression. As for contracts, they've reduced the completion counts required for most tasks, removed tasks that required searching specific containers, and they simplified tactical item tasks so that you can now use any tactical item. They've also increased the rewards from individual daily tasks from 30 contract sigils to 40. While I think these are good changes, the weekly cap is still quite limiting to players who do not have a lot of time, and if you want to get the skin, you're required to use a set number of contract coins first. Let me know if you think this is too much of a grind in the comments. Oceania will be getting a new server. In Brandigard, they've removed the density of monsters. They're taking more steps to reduce teaming. You can now stack only one soul of return, and they've taken more steps to reduce rubber banding. And they've also made some quality of life changes for chat, performance, and purchasing equipment. These changes are good, but what have they done for class balancing? So the Hammer Merc is receiving some significant nerfs. They will no longer get iframes if they dodge while using the leap step, dynamic charge, and relentless advanced talents. They've also added a short internal cooldown to Thunderous Hammer and Skull Crushing Echo. This is to stop the skill from coming off cooldown instantly. In my opinion, the biggest indirect nerf is to Resilient Body. Because energy will now be consumed immediately upon charging Earthshaker and Skullcrusher, players can no longer keep an uptime on the maximum stacks of Indomitable Will. And this also means they cannot maintain constant super armor throughout the fight. The cooldown of Skullcrusher has been nerfed, and the animation speed of the Warhammer Sling skill has also been buffed. They've also fixed a bug with Sword and Shield where using Impalement followed by a light attack will cause Impalement to be casted again at a much faster speed. Withered Knight saw some buffs last week, and it doesn't look like they'll be getting any nerfs this week. They fixed a bug that causes silent footsteps, and also fixed another bug that can cause the Withered Knight to fly into the sky. If you parry, then use the right click. Now moving on to the Strix nerfs. Phantom Shift's speed boost will no longer activate unless you're moving towards an enemy. It's unclear as to whether this will work on a non-player character. Spinning Slash will have its damage and movement distance moderately reduced, while still retaining its super armor and quick speed. Flurry will also be seeing a damage reduction, but it's unclear as to how much. Lightweight is finally getting a fix, as players have been using this to keep the momentum from the dodge into a B-hop. This combined with the teleport allowed them to disengage or chase opponents very easily. They have also fixed a bug where Lightweight could be triggered abnormally under specific circumstances. There is also a fix for the Dual Blade Wound talent, where it's saying that it was stacking abnormally. I'm not sure if this means if it was stacking between multiple Strixes and trios, but it looks like they've got a handle on that. Next, we have some balancing for the Stardust Sorcerer. The first of the changes is Meteor Shower. It's had its damage reduced in PvP, but also had its energy increased when not fully charged. Gravitational Vortex is having its damage greatly reduced, which will help to bring it in line as an AoE control skill. The movement speed reduction on Stardust Tempest has been greatly nerfed, meaning that players will quickly recover from it once they leave the AoE circle. The Storm Impact talent is also getting a nerf, meaning that dodge distance reduction won't be quite as harsh as it was before. Stardust Torrent is seeing a rework. It will have reduced damage at stage 1, but will have increased damage at stage 3, keeping the overall damage the same. The skill will now take longer to charge up unless you have the Unending Torrent talent. Meteor Impact is getting a buff to its cooldown speed, and the Swift Strike talent will no longer increase its base cooldown. Shadow Veil will be getting a nerf to its duration, which I think is good, as stealth and invisibility should typically be specialised by a rogue class. As you can see here, the Strix invisibility has an edge over the Sorcerer by about 3 seconds. We're not sure how much this will change by, but I think it's a good change. As for Black Arrow mains, Lasting Pain will be getting a nerf to the debuff extension on crowd-controlled targets, while Sport Arrow will be getting a damage buff. It's unclear as to whether this will be direct damage, damage over time, or both. And finally, the Seer's Burst Room will be getting a fix where it was able to remove invulnerability to targets exiting a Mist Lord's room. To those of you who have died from having your character launch into the sky, they've added a protective constraint system, so hopefully this won't happen again. And last but not least, they're fixing a bug which allowed the creation affix to stack higher than intended. So that's it for the video. There are a few changes that I've missed out, but I'll add them to the video description down below. Let me know if you think the devs are doing a good job with these small but frequent patches, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Till the next time, take care everyone.